Have you ever used anal beads while playing chess?
I was trying to find a reason to play that one during the last 20 minutes of the episode. Couldn't quite make it work. The mysterious magic of drops. How do they work?
Yeah, right.
Much like magnets, mankind has puzzled.
Yeah, right. For centuries, man has tried to figure out the magic behind why drops are so funny. But still, scientists cannot confirm what it is.
Can neither confirm nor deny. All right, let's do something. Let's do a thing.
He walked out in the gray light and stood, and he saw for a brief moment the absolute truth of the world. The cold, relentless circling of the intestate earth. Darkness implacable. The blind dogs of the sun in their running. The crushing black vacuum of the universe. And somewhere 200 animals trembling like ground foxes in their cover. Borrowed time and borrowed world and borrowed eyes with which to sorrow it.
And lo, for the earth was empty of form, and void, and darkness was all over the face of the deep, and we said, look at that fucker dance.
Welcome to Heat Death of the Universe, a podcast that stares the stare of 1,000 islands right down the barrel of the camera and says, I refuse to submit to a diseased system that solely worships the almighty dollar. It is 9:13 in the post-meridium Central Standard Time. Friday, May 29th, 2569, year of the Buddha. This voice speaking now is the voice of Joshua. How am I not myself? No Minutashio, and as always, coming to us live from the Dream Factory is Tim Turkish. Get up, kids. Buechner. What's up, Tim?
Oh, it's going good. You know me. I love to be on the only podcast that says I do want to get off on a rant here. How you doing tonight, Josh? It's nighttime, actually, too, which is confusing.
Well, you know, I'm glad to hear things are going good and that they're good and that it's not that they are...
It's weird. It's not weird. That's true.
It's not that they are... It's weird. What's happening in the world?
Yeah, what is going on?
I feel like there's a surplus of news stories about one
Hassan Parker.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's so many. I didn't even bother to put it on the list. I assume we could probably just talk about that blindly.
Yeah, like the most
notes.
important news that I saw that came out this week about Hassan Parker was he brought back the suit. He was wearing a suit on stream. And that's, I mean, he was looking dapper, but it's kind of, it doesn't quite fit his normal aesthetic. It's weird when he dresses up. That's definitely an it's weird situation. I don't know if you saw the clips of our good friend Hassan wearing a suit. It's nice. It's nice, but it's interesting. Yeah, it kind of stands out. It's like, what are you trying to steal Kyle's thing? Yeah.
True. I mean, I think his deal is he just like dresses up for all these big public events he goes to or whatever, and he
yeah.
I was trying to think of a way to be like, it's offensive to call Stavros Halkias a suit, but it just doesn't mean
true.
anything.
Sure.
That's the main
Hassan Parker
news that I saw this week was Stavros making jokes on the stream.
Yeah.
But also
It
he's
was
going to jail forever or something, along with
straight to jail,
all of the
straight to
Code
jail.
Pink
Yeah,
members.
Exactly. It was interesting hearing someone talking about Stavros, like in the context of being on Hassan Parker's stream. I think it was Ebb and Flow, which is kind of funny. I don't know if you ever listened to the Ebb and Flow stuff. It kind of shows up in my algorithm quite a bit.
I don't know
And
that.
it was funny because I was listening to a guy's podcast, and Murder Brian was singing the Ebb and Flow intro song, and he's just like, oh, it's just like a song from this guy who does like politics YouTubes or whatever. And it was just so funny. I was like, oh my god, he listens to the Ebb and Flow stuff too. But I think it was Ebb and Flow, and he was talking about Stav in the context of being on Hassan and being like, Stav is one of the best comedians at doing like roasts and sticking it to people, and he came up on this and that, and it was just so funny to hear somebody talking about Stav in like a context that felt very like someone who was not familiar with him until like the crowd work stand up / like his stand up special, and then being in movies that, you know what I mean? Like someone who came to Stavros post Cumtown is kind of interesting to hear their opinion of him. You know what I mean? As like one of the best insult comics in the game or whatever, who can mix up the politics too and like make it, he has great politics. And it's like, when I think of Stavros, I just think of like the fat guy who laughs a bunch. Like that's my Stavros, like, and just says he's got the dick is big, the dick is small. Let's get some burgers, you know?
I mean, that's your
right.
Cumtown Stavros, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There are many Stavs in the universe.
That's true. There's a lot of Stav to go around. And it seems like there's more every day, even though he's supposedly trying to get ripped or whatever. God
Right.
damn.
I just realized, like, the bind I just trapped myself in is like, do I even care to actually describe what happened to Hassan Parker this week? Because I brought it up for some reason. I don't know why.
Sure.
Yeah, there's like a subpoena, I guess. I don't even know what the where it's standing, or it's the last thing
There's a rumored subpoena.
Well, so Medea Benjamin, most, I guess, recognizable face of Code Pink activist concern. She came out and said that she was like, yes, nothing like actually was delivered to us. And then it was like found in like the spam folder of her email was the actual official subpoena. They
That can't be
emailed
right.
it. That's what she said. I mean, maybe I was listening to her talk and I misunderstood something, but that's what I heard most recently. The most recent development.
That might be really what happened, but I feel like that can't be legal. I don't think that they can serve you a subpoena by email, I should say.
Well,
no.
Are we really going to get like precious about the law?
Right. We're talking about the funny thing about it too is like that Trump is in the big news, right? Is that Trump is in the middle of doing like this giant like, rigged court case over lawfare and getting like $2 billion slush fund based on this idea of like the government doing quote unquote lawfare against him or whatever. And then like that's literally what they're doing to Hassan and this fucking Code Pink broad. Like it's amazing to be doing both things at the same time. It's almost like, again, hypocrisy just absolutely does not matter anymore. It's a mug's game to even pretend like you notice it, let alone like reference it. You know what I mean? It's like incredible. But one thing too is like, if I didn't realize this could be official government business, sending some cone pig broad an email with your subpoenas in it. I would have been working for the DOJ years ago. That's the plural of subpoena, right?
Yeah. And also the most important takeaway of this whole thing.
Sending ladies an email of your subpoenas. Put that on a t-shirt, folks.
I got a FoxNews.com article here. Code Pink's Medea Benjamin confirms getting, quote, serious Treasury Department query over Cuba trip. So actually, let's change. Maybe that's not a subpoena. Let's see.
Okay.
An inquiry. So that what I remember her saying also about it was that they were just like asking an absurd amount of, and like highly specified nature of questions. She was saying that like they basically have to like account for every hour, every 15 minutes that they were in Cuba.
They've got a list of very detailed questions which include: do it stank? Do it grip?
I was gonna say something really gross, but I like Medea Benjamin too much. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Listen, it's not about her. Listen.
I know, but I just there was like a
fans.
picture of her.
Oh yeah? Wait. Interesting.
Actually, your line of attack on this one makes me wonder if you know who she is.
I know who she is.
Do it grip, Medea. Do it grip.
Yeah, do it grip.
It's just a huge stack. I guess it would be a stack of unprinted sheets of paper, but just has huge huge sized font. Do it grip for 1,000 pages.
Yes. God damn.
But the real first article I had pulled up here for us to discuss before we get into the the formal topic of today, I guess, which will be
formal inquiry, the line of inquiry.
Yes, this line of inquiry about a documentary no one on Earth has seen except us.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I put the teaser out there. We're going to talk about the wide world of infomercials, folks, specifically a Fox Nation documentary on the subject, hosted by one Dennis Miller, babe, style guy.
It's Miller time, folks.
It is Miller time. Said article is the following. MAGA attack ad uses AI to show Thomas Massey, quote, cheating with the squad.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of those, like, God damn, I wish this had come up when we had to talk about Thomas Massey last week.
Yeah.
But I think we had narrowly missed it. And this one actually just kind of flew under the radar. Like, I didn't see this discussed on like any of the kind of usual suspects YouTube channel / podcasts that I usually see all the same.
When did it come out?
Oh, you know what the problem is? I was way behind on this as I look at the date here.
Okay.
It actually came out, it looks like, on May the 4th. Be with you. May the 4th be with you?
That's why nobody was talking about it. They were too busy doing Star Wars. Everyone was like, Grogu and the Mandaling Long. That's all we care about.
I was too busy trying to get to the bottom of Marco Rubio DJing at his nephew's bar mitzvah or whatever on May the 4th, as we did pin down on last week's episode, I believe. We figured it out. But you know what? Let's just watch this ad. Let's watch it together and see how true it may or may not be.
How about you folks listening with us? You watch it with us.
Also, you could do that. You could somewhat easily do that if you go to the episode description and click on the link to the Google Docs show notes with links and whatnot, including links to the video. The AI video that people who said they were not going to vote for Thomas Massey and they were going to vote for the other guy who, like, came out of nowhere. Oh, no, I'm confusing different state races together, actually. I'm thinking of that fucking piece of shit in Texas, Paxton. Well, anyway, the guy who beat Massey equally sucks, I would say, probably. Thomas Massey caught in a throuple in Washington. He's cheating with the squad on the America First movement. It's a complete and total betrayal of President Trump. Might go a little something like this.
Thomas Massey caught in a throuple in Washington. He's cheating with the squad on the America First movement. Massey voted with the squad against Trump's tax cuts. Massey voted with the squad against finishing Trump's wall. He voted with them against hiring new border agents. Well, this is worse than adultery. It's a complete and total betrayal of President Trump and Kentucky conservatives. On May 19th, fire Thomas Massey. MAGA Kentucky is responsible for the content of this advertising.
So
that should be illegal. Doing that to Trump should be illegal.
I mean, I think the funniest part about this, though, to me, is that which I guess I was starting to say earlier, and then I got sidetracked by trying to watch this shit. But people being interviewed, like, after they cast their vote or whenever it was, it doesn't really matter. But they were just like, they served this up as the reason they would not vote for the man. He had a threesome with the squad. I just realized I don't think I actually watched the ad until just now. It's obviously very stupid, but I thought it was more like explicitly saying that they had a sexual relationship instead of this, like, it's like adultery type thing they were doing. But
it's similar to adultery.
I mean, the very last shot, it's pretty heavy-handed. It's like the do not disturb hotel room door slamming.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And then you see Thomas Massey's face inside a little heart. What I'm looking at right now. You got some roses on the
nightstand.
On the nightstand with a glass of wine. And a very old-timey alarm clock along with it. That's the dead giveaway that this is AI bullshit.
Right.
AI bullshit that happened to trick a bunch of people, apparently.
Normal people just use their phone as their alarm clock. Nobody
also
has
true.
An alarm clock like that.
Thomas Massey cheating on phones with an alarm clock.
Yeah. Thomas Massey doesn't know how to turn his maps into night mode. Thomas Massey is tech illiterate.
They called it worse than adultery.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, people are going to push back that Trump has famously been an adulterer. So we're going to say it's worse than all that.
Now, this is actually worse than that. Some might even say stop asking about Trump cheating on his wife and fuck Thomas Massey. Some are saying this.
Are you still talking about me raping my ex-wife?
No, she recanted that. She said, I was mad. I was on my period. That's actually her official stance.
I actually raped myself. Donald tried to stop me, but I wouldn't listen.
I just kept going and going and going. Yeah.
All right. Moving on past that profound piece of news.
We're going to go grape to grape? Oh no.
Kind of, sort of. Marketing is a kind of rape.
That's true.
Get more into that later, I guess, today. South Korea, I also meant to talk about this last week, but whatever. I think this kind of, whatever. Who cares?
This week is the last week of now.
Yes.
Right? So, what's the difference, really, when you think about it that way?
Basically the deal with this one, South Korean Starbucks boss apologizes for ad campaign that evoked massacre. Why do huge corporations love doing this?
Right.
This is right alongside classics, like at least classic in the lore of this podcast in my mind is the KFC Germany celebrate Kristallnacht Remembrance Day with a chicken sandwich. And then you've got the SpaghettiOs 9/11 tweet. I mean, that's an all-timer.
It's important that you take a stand as a corporation, against, I don't know, racism? I don't even know. What is this one about?
I mean, this one is taking a stand in favor of shutting down democracy movements by running over people with tanks.
Sure.
So yeah, they released this new Starbucks ad campaign in Korea where they're referring to these tumblers that they're selling or using as promotional whatever bullshit that they're calling tanks. So they declared May 18th, which is basically Gwangju Massacre Remembrance Day, one of the worst events in, I guess, the modern era or something in South Korea, in which, tanks stormed civilian areas and killed a lot of people and arrested a lot of people and tortured people and all kinds of horrible shit. So why don't we name a Starbucks cup after it?
Yeah.
Surely no one in South Korea will be upset about this, even though there's memorials year round for stuff like this, basically.
Why are they still talking about old shit though? Let it go.
Yeah, but why is the Starbucks CEO invoking old shit? And I'll tell you why. Because he's a big old anti-communist ideologue.
He's a business shark.
He's also a business shark.
And he says, that's why it's Tank. He wanted it to be Shark Tank Day, but then he was like, no, let's do the other kind.
Well, what's funny about this too, it just occurred to me, is that I would bet, I don't know, my life that this guy, the CEO, Park Jong-chol, oh, sorry, that's not the right name.
It's actually Hassan Parker.
It is Hassan Parker.
AKA
South Korean retail tycoon Chung Yong-jin. So write to your local Chung Yong-jin, tell him that you don't like invoking the bloody military crackdown. You're not a fan.
Fair, I would definitely say I agree that's not... It's not a good thing to do. You know what I mean? It's not nice. We all agree it's not nice.
It's just profoundly stupid.
Sure, yes.
Even well, I was going to say even the most right-wing people in Korea wouldn't be on board for this, but let's say some nominally right-wing people probably wouldn't be. They still think it was not the greatest thing to do to people who just wanted a little smidgen of democracy, or even just fake democracy. Give us the fake stuff. We'll take anything.
Even just the Guns N' Roses album, Chinese Democracy. We'll take that, even.
Oh, that reminds me of where I was going, and I totally forgot for a second.
Oh, I know where you were going. To the jungle, baby. Is that why it jogged your memory? Yeah.
No, it was the word Chinese.
Okay. Fair.
Because I imagine this guy has he probably tweets out every Tiananmen Square Remembrance Day about the inhumanity of using tanks to suppress uprisings when they're in China, but when they're in Korea, we name a Starbucks tumbler after it.
I thought it would go the other way, and it would say it's a terrible way to desecrate those tanks. Getting guts all in the tracks. That's no way to treat a tank.
So people didn't like this, and they started protesting and smashing the cups or the tumblers. Fair. I don't know.
Hey, listen, you bought them either way, right?
Right. And yeah, he realized the error of his ways. And as it says here in this AP article, we got to get this detail on the record as well. The campaign compounded outrage by using the slogan, "Thwack it on the table," which many read as a reference to a notorious 1987 police statement that attempted to cover up the torture death of student activist Park Jong-chol. Police claimed that Park died suddenly after investigators, quote, "hit the desk with a thwack."
Oh.
God, that's grim.
I thought it was about plopping your thing down on the table. Whack it on the table,
Laying it down, art of the deal style. Let them know what you're working with.
Because if you do it right and you slap it on the table like that, and then you just post the audio. There's like a lot of really good Redditors who can do like a ton of like mathematical equations to use the acoustic resonance to figure out how big your junk is based on the sound that it makes when it's slapped. They have to know what kind of wood the table is made out of, but they can figure it out.
I'm trying to think of the equivalent of like the catching print, but with what you're describing.
Yes. It's catching audio print, catching sound print.
Slapping print?
Yeah. Catching wave.
This guy came out and turned his position around 180 and
oh, good.
There's like
so now he's a communist?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I think his apology basically amounted to bowing 3 times publicly and then saying, please, please, please don't stop buying Starbucks no matter what, please.
Yeah, right.
And on the subject of Korea, science. Maybe I should just play this. It's fun. Let's learn about how you, too, can get microplastics out of your body. This is apparently backed up by real science, compelling science that I totally read and vetted personally.
Yeah,
Eat kimchi, folks, but let's find out why in this little short video.
Oh,
audio.
yeah, this is a good one.
All right, so this guy's gonna explain it. Dish by David. I'll shout him out.
That's right.
Your body is full of microplastics. Most people don't think about it, but they're in your gut right now. A 2006 study found that a specific bacteria in kimchi can actually bind to those plastics, like a sponge, grabbing onto them so your body can push them out instead of absorbing them. The bacteria is called Leuconostoc mesenteroides, which means this isn't just about digestion. This is about what stays in your body and what doesn't. And this is the traditional version. Napa cabbage brined in salt, breaking down, creating its own brine. Then the paste, garlic, ginger, Korean pear, fish sauce, fermented shrimp. Everything layered to create the right environment for fermentation. Because real kimchi isn't made to sit on a shelf. It's made to stay alive. Alive means active. Active means it's actually doing something when you eat it. Store-bought lasts longer. This works better. Your body is
full of microplastics on infinite loop.
That's right. I saw this and I thought about wanting to make kimchi, but I don't know that I've done it before, but it's just a lot of work.
Yeah, it's time consuming. I've heard. I don't really know much about
I was going to say
Korea.
Have you made kimchi? Do you guys regularly make kimchi like in the house?
I've never made it.
Okay.
It is like an activity. It's kind of like, I feel like it's sort of like a family activity. Sometimes it's like help grandma make kimchi. Is kind of a thing.
If I had some other people in the house that could help me make it, maybe it would be. I could definitely see that being. You know what I mean? Like more of a thing. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, like I'm interested about the idea that like this kimchi is like removing microplastics from your body or whatever. That's something else.
He said a 2006 study. I noticed. I think in that video,
right?
I thought it was
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Because it's like our plastics are like probably even different since then, enough to where it's like, how could you even? Yeah.
Well, it was the second like little bit of news about microplastics I've read recently that seemed somewhat hopeful. A rare thing.
Right.
There was a very recent study that basically showed that there was a kind of a method that that involved purely like a very specific kind of like nutrition, and it could get like something like 60 to 65% of microplastics out. But I saw like the Cliff Notes version of that, obviously. So I can't really tell you more than that. I mean, what I'm looking at here, just on Google at the moment, I mean, but this is also AI bullshit. This is fucking goddamn Gemini. Saying there's no proven way to fully eliminate microplastics once they embed themselves in organs or the bloodstream, but your body does eliminate some of them anyway. And maybe eat more fiber. More fiber, more kimchi. I don't know. I mean, we don't even really know if microplastics are going to be bad for the human body. Who knows?
Yeah,
it's up in the air.
We can't even
Jury's
prove
out.
that they're not. We can't even prove that they're not making you stronger.
I saw something the other day that was depressing, which was like someone talking about microplastics and like it was probably some kind of like mommy lifestyle blogger, vlogger person. And they're like,
sure.
But they just said very matter of factly, like, our generation is fucked, but we can still help our kids. And it was like,
Yeah.
Use glass, use metal, blah, 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 like that kind of thing.
It's pretty good.
Because it's only been somewhat recently for me that I've like really been thinking about it. Like I'm like every time I drink something, my mind immediately goes to like what is this material? What is this vessel made of? And it does seem pretty much impossible to stay away from plastic.
Yeah, it's true. Right, they say like even like glass bottles have plastic in the little cap thing.
Right. I think there's even something in aluminum cans, possibly.
Yeah, the lining on the inside, there's like plastic on the inside lining. Yeah, I wasn't even going to mention that. I was like, glass is like the one that people try to pretend like. Do you remember that? That was on the pool water, the Tim Pool water thing where he got into the debate with the guy about the liquid death guy about like how much plastic there is in a glass bottle versus a can.
No.
Oh yeah, that was a whole thing because Tim Pool was doing his pool water and he tried to say like, oh, some of these companies will sell you water in a can and try to pretend like it's better, but it's got a bunch of plastic in it. And then the guy came on and he's like, yeah, but your glass bottles have like a plastic membrane in the cap. He's like, there's more plastic in that membrane than there is in the lining in the can or whatever. So it's like untrue of you to pretend like you're using less plastic or whatever. Oh, I've never said that. I'm dumb. My name is Tim Pool and I wear a stupid hat, you know. What the fuck else was it? There was something else I had thought about there for a second, but I forgot.
Plastic, the world being consumed by plastic.
It was still on the level of like the kimchi stuff, or like fermentation and making kimchi and stuff like that. But I forgot.
Gut flora, generally speaking.
Yes, exactly.
Generally speaking, gut flora is Chinese.
What I was going to say was it had to do with talking about like bacterias and all that kind of bull crap that there's I don't know if you ever listen to this little podcast that I check out sometimes called The Majority Report, but they had a advertisement for this company called Z Biotics that make a prebiotic that like helps break down stuff in alcohol when you drink or whatever. But I was like checking it out and they have another product. All of their shit is like GMO, like whatever, but it's cool. I don't have a problem with GMOs, to be honest. And another thing that they make is something that like converts sugar to fiber. It's this like stick packet of like some kind of probiotic thing that you drink and then it like you eat this sugar and it converts it to fiber. And it was talking about, it makes it into this kind of fiber that you only can find in natto. Are you familiar with natto?
Yeah, the Japanese fermented soybeans. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fermented soybeans. So like they made this like weird, like genetically modified, prebiotic organism that converts sugar to a kind of fiber that you can only find in natto. And it's just like, that's the kind of stuff that like, you know what I mean? Like you talk about the kimchi thing. It's like, the only way to do this microplastics is with this kimchi. But it's like, if you have this company making like The real money, the way we make our real money is by selling this thing that makes it so people can drink, get fucking hammered drunk and then feel okay the next day. Like, that's how you make the real money, because everyone gets fucking wasted. But you're also doing science that's like converting, sugar into fiber. It's like the next step will be just a company like that doing the same thing, like figuring out a way to engineer a probiotic that, that gets the microplastics out of you the same way as the kimchi does or whatever, right? Like, you can definitely see the way that progression works, but that is the thing that's like the whole reason why Elon Musk is like a bag of dicks. It's like selling this amazing world where everything's going to be fixed by science, so you don't need to worry. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to worry about changing how you do stuff or blah, 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 whatever. Because, like, science is going to fix it, and they're going to go to Mars, and they're going to jack off a robot horse, and that's how you're going to have 1,000 babies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's promising, but it's, like, clearly not, the answer to everything.
You ever eat that natto stuff? I've never actually
I
tried
like it. I like it.
I've heard it's quite divisive. You either love it or you hate it, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who really dislike it. But I like durian. You've had durian? People make a big deal about that one too.
I like durian. I actually don't feel strongly about it. It's like I'll eat it, but I'm not huge into it.
Yeah. It's, but it's like in the same like kind of vein of like a thing that people like, and then also like, Western style people will be like, it sucks, it smells bad, it's sticky, I don't like it, or whatever.
You should see if you can handle fermented what is it, stingray.
Oh, okay.
It's a Korean food that is it's almost kind of like a dare food in a way.
Really?
But yeah, like it's a very like acquired taste, I guess, and most people seem not to like it.
Yeah.
But I've tried it. I've seen people like throw up on like Korean TV shows where they get like foreigners or whatever who are visiting and like broaden their food horizons.
Is it similar to like the Norwegian like fermented fish stuff that they do, or is it?
It must be similar. I've never really had that though either.
Okay.
I think also possibly you're eating it. It's fermented, but like basically raw, if that makes sense.
There's like, there's the weird, like, not weird, but there's I don't know how to put this exactly.
It's
like
okay. They got
like,
fucked up food. We all know it. Just
no. Like ceviche and stuff where it's like, they say that like, it's technically cooked. It's not
because
raw anymore.
The citrus,
the
or
acid,
whatever.
Yeah, like the acid, and then like the same thing with like fermented stuff. Like it's not raw anymore. It's like it's weird to think of as like it's cooked or whatever, because in your mind you only think of cooked as like with fire, but like it's prepared, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of. That's why I said more or less raw. But
right.
Anyway, we should probably move on to whatever's next.
No. We're talking about fermented
stingray.
Yeah, this is what is the? I'm trying to think. Wild. No, God damn it! I'm trying to think of like a way to do like instead of death, it's like a living food of the universe or whatever. Anyway,
living food of the universe. Got it. Good. Nailed it. In based news.
Based news.
Iranian-backed group offers bounties on Israelis it claims intercepted Gaza flotilla. So the same group that hacked Cash at Patel, Cash Me Outside Patel.
Oh no! They stole all my apes. No, they got my slurp juice.
I think I saw it in passing too when I was looking at this article about the bounties, but I think they also further hacked Patel.
Sure, of course.
I think they actually got into his work email, but I may have understood something.
Man, that was a fun one. That was a fun week when we were excited about that.
Yeah, when we were imagining all the things we were going to find and then didn't find.
I know. It turns out he was just like a boring fucking, jamoke or whatever. Anyway.
Well, it turns out we just didn't get the really juicy email hit.
Right. But his email, folks.
So let's hope and pray that they do eventually get the good stuff from Cash App. But yeah, same group, Handala. Just this is just a shout out to some real ones, some real ass hackers of the week.
Yeah, the official heat death of the universe stance is that hacking is cool, and hack the planet, folks. It's good.
And I mean, this just ties into other news that's been going on for the last couple of weeks, which is yet another flotilla was intercepted. People were abused. Ben Gvir was just like, they were on the footage that I saw that was like publicly released by Israel. Like, they're proud of this shit.
God damn it.
They were like,
I know this is going to be bad when it starts out with, this is the stuff Israel is proud of. Anyway.
Yeah. And it's like him,
like
just
their
like
worst shit.
He
they
goes
like the sorry. I'm just like losing my mind here. Anyways, continue on.
He's like touring the death camps, the facilities. He's like, oh, wow, this is very good. I like it. Suddenly I have some kind of accent.
Yeah. That's weird. That's a weird way for an Israeli to talk.
Like a European shock of all shocks.
Right. It was that was an interesting moment in the, this is a teaser. There was an interesting moment in the docu-series that we were watching where the guy was talking about, their mom not speaking English, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? That was we'll get to that later though. Maybe. At this point it's kind of a maybe if we'll even get it.
Democrats join Republicans to attack Trump over Iran negotiations. So the dastardly Democrats they've got a good game plan here.
Rats.
To distinguish themselves from MAGA, they are going to attack Donald Trump from the furthest right position they can come up with. A big part of it is people just keep lying about one of the provisions during all these very real negotiations that are going on that are not just buying time and killing time and vamping while Trump has no fucking clue what to do. Oh man. So yeah, it was Cory, what's his name? Booker.
Corey Taylor from Slipknot.
Slipknot guy was there. They were all wearing masks to hide their shame from God. I mean, I don't know. I don't need to belabor this one. I put it on there just because it pissed me off, but whatever. Like, as soon as I start saying the words out loud now, it's just like, we all know what they're doing. So
the thing.
You know the thing. You know the thing. The thing is called
prescription jugs.
Hell yes, brother. I was thinking about that the other day, and that's one of my favorites of all time.
Now every time I see the word prescription or prescription drugs, it's the first thing I think of.
I always think about prescription jugs, and I'm just like, that's right. That is correct.
All men and women created by you know the thing. Prescription jugs.
Right.
You know the thing, folks. Trump says he might run for Israeli prime minister. This was another oldie but a goodie.
Oh yeah, I think we did talk about this actually.
Did we?
No, maybe not.
Am I recommending bait again?
No.
Well, if we did, this is actually a short one, 19 seconds. Listen to your president, world. The world president speaks, and
The
you
president
listen.
of the world, folks.
I'm right now at 99% in Israel. I could run for prime minister. So maybe after I do
God
this,
damn, does
I'll
he
go
look
to
like
Israel,
shit.
run for prime minister. I had a poll this morning. I'm 99%. So that's good. But no, he's a wartime
that's
prime
good.
minister. I just don't think they treat him well.
I am the 99%.
Yes. I just don't think they treat him well. I like that he's like, I don't think that they treat their prime minister well, but I should take his job and be the prime minister. Like, what? Okay, man. Okay. That's fine.
It's almost like the man has trouble making much sense.
Right.
Have you noticed
I
this
did-
guy speaks like a moron? He just the way that he. I've just been thinking about this video. It's more like I'm more outraged or whatever, upset. Trump derangement syndrome is sparked by him saying things like, "I'm 99% in Israel." Like, why would you assume people know what the fuck you're talking about?
Right. Yeah. He's basically, that is the same as saying, you know the thing. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't finish what he was saying. He didn't finish the point he was making, you know. It's pretty good. This did remind me of the recent, did you hear Donald Trump on the interview recently talking about like why or like he might miss his son's wedding?
Oh yeah.
And he said, "This is a person I've known for a long time."
It was so good.
Oh, it's so good. I was thinking about that because of he said there was something in there right now that I like shouted out that was like very similar, where he does these offhanded flourishes that make it very clear that like in his mind he doesn't actually doesn't really know what he's in the middle of talking about.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like, "This is a person I've known for a long time." Like, wait, hold on, you forgot what you're talking about, didn't you? Yeah. What are we? Mr. President, what are we talking about right now? Not sure. Not sure, actually. But, you know, but it is important that we talk. The most important thing is that we're talking about it, even if I don't know what exactly it is.
Is my picture going out to millions of people? Well, then everything's exactly how I planned it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my God. But yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
That was a good drum break. Yes, it was. Mike Huckabee. We hate him.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Oh, that's on
that guy.
YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, listen to another asshole. It's another short clip.
Sure. Why the hell not, man?
And Derek Davidson. What does he do? Is that the guy that goes on Chapo? I believe I follow him on Twitter. And that's where I found this, yes. Or actually, this is Derek Davison. Anyway, whatever.
I don't know.
No, it is the guy I'm thinking of. American Prestige podcast haver.
Paul Bet Davidson?
Yeah, Paul Bet Davidson. Let's try. All right, let's get experimental. I'm going to read the response to what Mike Huckabee says before we listen to Mike Huckabee, so you can put it all together.
It's like Jeopardy. I'm going to give you the answer. You have to guess the question.
It's like Jeopardy or Memento or Being John Malkovich.
Exactly.
Ending explained. Derek Davison says, "Well, I'm annoyed that they killed half of my family and bulldozed my village into oblivion, but this watermelon is so much more pleasant to eat without the seeds."
That's right.
And then there's a footnote after the word watermelon, which says, "Seedless watermelon was developed by a Japanese scientist, so this dumb bullshit doesn't even hold up on that basis. What on earth is this crazy person, this crazy wackadoo far left type talking about?" We'll let Mike Huckabee explain.
I was going to think that the watermelon thing was going to be somehow related to Palestine, but we'll see.
It is related to Palestine, but in a different way than a watermelon being a symbol of Palestine.
Okay.
Because it's a stupid person. Unless you're a stupid person.
We view that as a very unfortunate incident, okay?
right.
Everyone, unless you're a stupid person.
All right, that wasn't Mike Huckabee. This is Mike Huckabee.
I wonder if everyone in Lebanon understands that if there were no Israel, they wouldn't have a cell phone. I wonder if they understand that every time they use a USB, every time they use car navigation, that every time they eat a cherry tomato or have a delicious bite of seedless watermelon, instead of saying, I can't talk to those people, they should step across the border, shake the hands, and say, thank you. Thank you for helping create some things that have made my life better and easier.
That's right.
Every time you order a taco salad from your local Israeli eatery and you flip it over in the bowl and then fuck the shit out of it, you should be thanking Zion.
That's right. He's adding way too much to there. Like, he should just make it. I mean, he's already talking about Lebanon, so he might as well, just fucking don't even, dick around with all this other stuff. Oh, don't you guys love cherry tomatoes? Be like, the people of Lebanon should just be happy that the Israelis allow them to live. They could drop a nuke on them at any moment. But the benevolence of the Israeli government decides to allow them to live.
I was just thinking about the list of inventions he rattled off there,
Right.
which is
Clean water, us.
Archaeology, us. Cell phones, us.
Us. Oh, that's right. He's basically
Hamas, us.
He's doing the Bad Hezbollah theme song. You know, it's like he did the meme. He did the Bad Hezbollah theme song. I
He's
believe
doing the
they
worst
say that
cover version of that amazing theme song. Yeah.
Right.
Jumping jacks was us. Push-ups was us. Krav Maga us. All karate us. Taking Molly us. Michael Jackson us. Yamaha keyboards us. Jar Jar Binks not us. Andor was us. Heath Ledger Joker us. Endless Pressex us. Happy Meals was us. McDonald's was us. Being happy us. Bikram yoga us. Eating food us. Breathing air us. Drinking water us. We invented all that shit.
That was Mike Fuckleby? Was that who that was?
Yes, Mike Fuckleby.
We call him Young Mike on the mic. They call him he's sweeter than honeysuckle Huckleby.
This is one I never heard of before, actually. The fidget spinner.
Oh, yeah. They call him Mike the Fidget Spinner Huckleby.
Fidget spinner, us. They really get obsessed about the cherry tomatoes, too. All right, anyway, moving on. Trump says the Presidential Medal of Freedom. This was hot off the presses. I just saw this one, I think.
Sure.
Trump says the Presidential Medal of Freedom is, quote, much better than the Congressional Medal of Honor because the Medal of Honor is for people who are, quote, in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets or they're dead. That's right.
I prefer my war heroes to be just guys who I give a medal to because I think they're handsome. They didn't do it. They don't need to be war heroes. I just want them to look like they stepped out of central casting. And they have a strong jawline and a mustache. That's better than some gimped up freak who actually defended something in a war. Why would I care about that? Trump is amazing because he's like a fully postmodern human. Like, his concept of reality does not connect to things that have happened. It's all just the spectacle. And again, that's why this is perfect. It's better to be a guy who's getting an award for some made up bullshit and you're handsome than it is to be an actual hero who did something, but you got shot with a bullet or whatever.
I want to get the full context. We gotta give.
Yes, that's fair. We should definitely let the rapist, pedophile president have completely understand what he meant.
That's what we're doing. This has nothing to do with me wanting to find a funny detail in his mangled speech here.
I have to say, Miriam, I watched Sheldon sitting so proud in the White House when we gave
Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian. It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets, or they're dead. She gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. It's right. And they're rated equal.
That's right.
Miriam Adelson, world famous beauty.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that is good.
It just seems like when he says shit like this, I mean, I don't really even get
it. Makes it all worth it, you know?
I can see why some people still want to like chase like almost like a kind of Manchurian Candidate conspiracy or something, because he's just doing like every single thing you could think of to make things bad for himself.
Right.
Unless his mission is to destroy everything. But yeah, it's really the thing that makes the most sense, I guess, in a way, except for, I guess, the alternate explanation of there's compromise and a ton of bribe money, and that explains everything. I mean, just one of those two things would explain it perfectly fine.
Fair.
Recently, the United States tried to colonize part of the Philippines because we live in the 1880s or something.
What like, what does that even mean at this point? They've already been our colony for how long? You know.
Yeah, it's true. But like the difference is that they like actually try to legally just take.
Sure.
I'll give you a few details here.
That's the Trump, guarantee. He will say the quiet part out loud, right?
Who? Yeah, so like this is of course just all about desperately trying to like combat China, destroy China. I could destroy China, folks. I just don't feel like it yet. So this comes from, shout out, Arnaud Bertrand, everyone's favorite Frenchman living in China, writing mostly in English on X.com. He wrote about this. It's a bit of an under-the-radar style story, but essentially, to quote the man, the U.S. went much further still. They literally tried to carve out 4,000 acres of Philippine territory in New Clark City, 60 miles north of Manila, to be governed under U.S. common law with diplomatic immunity. The first arrangement of its kind anywhere in the modern world. But to your point also, there is an effective colonization anyway, but this is just kind of like, we're tired of just doing neo-colonialism and effective colonialism. Right. We got to go back to the hard stuff. And this is all part of something that they're calling Pax Silica, which is the brainchild of a ex-Palantir guy, Jacob Hellberg, who I think I had heard of previously, but never actually saw before. And the picture of him that I saw earlier somewhere, yes, on this post. I know we're all overusing the word demon here these days.
Sure.
Truly the word applies for this image of the guy on the Wall Street Journal here. And the Wall Street Journal's their take on what this guy described as, just stealing 4,000 acres of land and having diplomatic immunity, that all amounts to U.S. to create high-tech manufacturing zone in Philippines. When the Wall Street Journal, the far left, radical left, Zadie left, Wall Street Journal.
The loony left, as we call them.
And, ultimately, I guess that their plan didn't completely go through. They don't legally have this, like, chunk of land, but again, it doesn't really matter because the Philippines is going to participate in this Pax Silica thing, which is just basically like, help us get all the chips. Don't let China have any of those chips. We want the chips. because we're so nice to you guys. Historically, we've set up a precedent here, Philippines.
We've been doing all that stuff. We let your people send us slaves or whatever, to work in our hospitals. So,
let them, yeah.
Yeah, we let you guys. This is like it's like the privatization thing. Like instead of the U.S. government setting all this stuff up, we allow the Philippine, corporations to set up like that whole thing where they send like healthcare workers to America in like basically indentured servitude. Yeah.
Yeah.
We let them do that.
I'll say the list is quite long in abuses of the Philippines just over the last 150 years, let's say.
Yeah, that feels like a fair range.
And just just like with the shout out to the Handala hacking collective, shout out to the good folks in the US of A who are still fighting the good fight against ICE, which we haven't really, I feel like has just been kind of forgotten because, flooding the zone, all that.
Right.
A lot of the ICE news, I don't know, it's just not breaking through as much these days. And there's a big standoff in New Jersey recently at the Delaney concentration camp. And
Sure.
Godspeed. I don't know. Things are bad. And finally, I predict, I just want to get this on the books, the next 9/11 level terror incident, I think, will happen at the UFC on the White House lawn event.
Fingers are crossed.
I don't want it to, but mark my words.
I do. I want it to. Especially because John Jones is not going to be on the show, so I don't really care otherwise. Fuck it.
I've always wanted to say this. Hear me now, quote me later on that. There was some funny shit about just Dana White and Joe Rogan all like, I don't know, wringing their hands in different ways over this event going down. I think Rogan is the one especially put out by the whole thing, and then every time he kind of complains about it, his guest will ask him if he's going, and he's like, well, yeah.
Well, that's why Joe is, whatever, annoyed by it / upset or whatever. It's because, like, he has to go because of UFC. That's, like, part of his job or whatever. But then his other, obviously more important job now is, like, the podcast. And he's trying really hard to pivot away from talking about Trump on the podcast. So, yeah, he doesn't want to have to go to that because he's forced to go by UFC and he has to be like, yeah, I like Trump. It's good. This is good. And I'm happy to be here or whatever. Because it's poison. It's poison for his podcast numbers. And that's his real job,
Yeah, I think, is he still like under contract? I don't know. Because as Aaron Brown videos go, to Spotify, like why he keeps the thing that Aaron Brown asks basically every time he talks about Joe Rogan now is like, why are you still doing this?
Right.
It's like, maybe there's compromise on Joe. No, he's just like, much like our president, he's caught between a rock and a hard place as well, with what he's gotten himself into here, I guess. Poor guy. He's centimillionaire.
Right. Yeah, no, he still has a Spotify contract. Like, I think there was like confusion on the thing where the podcast became no longer like exclusively on Spotify, that people thought that meant that the contract was over, but it's not. It was just like it was a renewal. It was a new contract that just had different terms. But yes, he's still,
I feel like if he wasn't, he might have just retired, to hang up the microphone, maybe.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's still too much money in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he would retire until he was losing money from it, or he just physically can't do it anymore. But of course that'll never happen because he takes enough alpha brain that'll keep him alive forever.
Well, he's always hitting that heavy bag off camera.
That's true. That's true. He's in great shape.
All right. Everything sucks. Every person is stupid.
Every single person on this planet is gay.
Let's talk about infomercials that sold us. The infomercials that sold us. How did we find out about this? I believe it is documented on the podcast of us, for some reason, looking up the Wikipedia page for Dennis Miller and discovering that the only thing he's done the last 10 years or something is kind of these interstitial things in this documentary about the history and the legacy of infomercials.
Yeah, did you? I don't remember what it was, if it was an interview or what it was, but there was like something that we both, like, I think maybe you sent it to me, or at least I saw it. I don't know, but that was like him talking about why he did this after not doing anything for like 10 years or whatever. Did you see that? And it like made it kind of obvious that it was like, basically, he's done a ton of stuff for Fox News over the years, like as a quote unquote guest correspondent or whatever. And also he was like an early, late 90s, early 2000s, like celebrity that was willing to like throw his ilk into the conservative movement and be on Fox News. So like they probably feel a bit of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they feel the need to give him what he wants. They're loyal to him in a way because he was there for them when they were down in the beginning. So like this was kind of a like blank check. You have a contract to do whatever you want kind of thing. And he was like, I'll do this stupid thing. And he found a way to spin it to like, point towards dumbass politics, right? Like free market capitalism style bullshit. So yeah, it's just like, of course, like, yeah, oh yeah, you can do this stupid thing that you want to do. That's like the only thing you want to do because you actually don't want to work anymore. It's just a way for us to give you some money to make something that's no one's going to ever watch. But make sure you stick something in there that's like Randian. Make sure you do at least some kind of fucking, Austrian economics in there,
I mean, he's a true believer. He kind of pioneered the 9/11 turned me into a hateful reactionary monster thing.
Right. I mean, he was already a hateful reactionary monster, but it was an excuse, you know what I mean?
He hid it amongst
definitely.
polite company until 9/11
exactly.
when he was like, now I can let it all out.
Exactly.
I mean, the more I think about this documentary, the more my question about it, central question is really just like, why was this made? Why was this made by Fox Nation specifically? Right. I mean, I don't know. But then it also seems like kind of a no-brainer, like docuseries to like, it's only 3 episodes. They're 45 minutes each. Dennis Miller like probably did like an hour and a half worth of on-set work,
right? If that.
I don't know why when we just saw the words like Dennis Miller did a documentary about infomercials, I just pictured him having more involvement in it, like
sure,
like intuitively. But yeah, he's really just there to like. I mean,
except for there's one like insanely fucking like unexplicable bit that happens in the 3rd episode involving Dennis Miller. But yes, otherwise, yeah, he's like, this is very low impact work for one, D Miller, one Miller time.
We can jump around. What happens? I'm not sure I even know what you're referring to.
Oh, no, that's fine. We'll get to it. We will definitely get to it. Yeah.
So yes, three episodes. Episode 1, The Innovators. So where to start? Start at the start. Start at the beginning.
That's right. It's always good to start at the beginning, That's usually how I like to do it, especially like, when I'm having sex. I like to start at the beginning. Don't try to start in the middle, folks.
I mean, basically this, like the origins get into like they set up the fact that like no one even considered that TV could just be on 24 hours a day.
Right.
I guess until the 80s when all this started. I mean, did infomercials, what came first? People starting to put stuff on like at that 6-hour block of time when there was just nothing on TV? Or did the invention of infomercials necessitate the need for that empty television space to be taken up? We'll never know.
It's almost impossible to ever, figure. It's like chicken and the egg,
I mean, one thing I was thinking about, they mentioned how like the first kind of regulations on commercial time appeared in the 60s because I think like the FCC, head of the FCC, maybe it was in the early 60s, just hated television. Called it a vast wasteland, famously, I think.
That was, obviously that was delivered in again, that's one of those things that's very questionable based on like who you're getting this information from, right?
Yeah. And they don't go too deep into that. We'll say they don't go too deep into much of anything at all.
Nothing. Yeah.
But then, yes. So the real seed of the revolution, the infomercial / let's watch screens all day, every day revolution.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially kicked off with what everything good kicked off with, Ronald Reagan.
That's right. Old
and
Ronnie.
The deregulating like basically everything to do with TV and anything else, pollution, health outcomes. And then it just became like, oh, how did we ever not do this with this extra television time?
What were we thinking,
In the very beginning, I got to point out some of this Dennis Miller monologue. And the conceit is, you're not going to believe this, just wait for it. Dennis Miller comes out on a set that looks like an infomercial studio. The live studio audience.
That was crazy.
Who he points out in a very mind-bending meta way are just paid actors.
Right.
As is the standard at any infomercial taping.
Right. It's out of control,
But yeah, they characterize the near total deregulation on this front as the big breakthrough. Get past all of that 1960s puritanical regulation bullshit.
Yeah, which should have been illegal to begin with, right? Because of the Constitution or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, we all agree. Like selling stuff online is free speech, or on the TV, I guess I should say. Selling things on the TV is free speech.
Oh, you're giving away the game there.
That's true. That's true. Sorry.
How infomercials turned into online.
Yeah.
So then they get into some of the big staples of the infomercial world after they kind of describe the greater cultural, historical context that all of this emerged from. And the first infomercial superstar is a title bestowed upon Tony Little, a guy that I guess I recognized him as soon as I saw him, but I wouldn't have been able to tell you like his name. He was that guy who was always exercising constantly and screaming.
Yeah, he's got the gazelle. Like I remember Tony Little for sure, like instantly. But
I remembered it, but it wasn't one of the ones that like stood out to me in the way that say a Tony Robbins, another Tony.
Sure. Which is kind of weird because like to be honest, I was like not one of these people who like watched any of this stuff or like valorizes it in any way. Like I don't have like the nostalgia part of this doesn't do anything for me. I'm not like, oh yeah, totally. I loved this stuff was so fun and funny. Like I didn't have really any experience with any of it, but I definitely knew who Tony Little was. Like, I know him by name or whatever. He was definitely very weird throughout it. And I did like because it never, again, because I didn't watch any of this stuff or pay attention to any of it. Like the idea of his catchphrase of "You can do it" or whatever that they kept like having through. It did hit me at a moment where I was like, "Holy shit!" Like the oh god, why can't I think of his fucking name now? My brain just fucked me. David Schwimmer. What the fuck is the Adam Sandler buddy? Who
I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
The guy who bombed Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider, yes. The Rob Schneider in Waterboy being like, "You can do it," like was a ripoff of that. Even.
That's what I was wondering that myself, and I
had to have been.
Well, ripoff or just like
it's a reference,
repurposing reference, something. But I don't know. I never actually saw that movie, and I only know of that as like a catchphrase or whatever from just hearing other people reference it,
just like memes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like it was just very funny to me in the moment because I was like, I never thought of that as like his thing, but then like being like, oh yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean the documentary, we're kind of shitting on it a little bit, but it did give us the ammo we needed to fully debunk the Rob Schneider.
Yeah. To finally really take Rob Schneider's ass to task.
The Rob Schneider revisionist theory of labor value or whatever. I'm having a little Biden moment here myself where I'm forgetting what the fuck I'm talking about.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I can do it. Okay, I can do it.
That's right.
Sometimes I just see drops, words on the drops, and then I touch the drops.
That's right. You have to. It's important.
Another big pitchman, as they're called,
yes.
The British one, who I definitely recognize. You know what I realized? Actually, I don't really know like any of these people's names except for Tony Robbins, I guess.
Sure.
Suzanne Summers, I guess.
Fair.
I mean, I only know Vince Offer's name now because we've been talking about the Slapshot Man himself.
We were talking about his political career recently.
Right.
Which, like, you saw some inklings of in here, which does also beg to question, when was this shit filmed? Because it felt like it had to have been before he ran for office, which at this point feels like it was like a few months ago already.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, this documentary came out in the beginning of 2024.
Okay, fair. Okay.
Which doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't record it in 2015 and sit on it for a while and then have like need to do some kind of like tax bullshit or something. And that's why they released it.
Right. That's true, because this is definitely a write this off as a loss type of creation, for sure.
That's all I could think of as like a most realistic scenario for why this was made. But, I mean, aside from the fact that it's just like probably pretty easy to gather some like infomercial footage and string it together and get a couple of, because there are some talking head interviews with a few legends of the game.
Right. Which they do like repeatedly recycle like quotes. Like there's some quotes that they play like 3 or 4 times throughout the fucking thing. It's crazy.
Oh, going back to the top of my notes here for a second. California was still a purple state. Did you catch Dennis Miller saying that?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
He's doing all his like
pissed.
Millerisms, which I assume were just written by the writing staff or something.
Right.
Like where did that style even come from? Did he do stand up? I don't even know.
He was on SNL, right? I mean,
I know he did. He just definitely did SNL.
Yeah.
But I like when you think of that as like his style, you think it's him like writing the jokes to like show off how goddamn smart he is with all the references. Never even occurred to me that all this time he just had a team coming up with this stuff with an encyclopedia backstage at SNL.
That was before AI. So yeah, they had to they had to have like an encyclopedia and a dictionary and stuff and look things up. They couldn't just ask Gemini to do it for them or whatever.
Also have here Zima's strewn around your lazy boy.
Yeah, that was a incredible.
It's the 90s, babe. So the British man, Anthony Sullivan, what he reminded me of immediately was the Bob Odenkirk British infomercial character who must have been based on this guy. There's no way it wasn't. Right. And I just keep thinking, like, yeah, there was like a Mr. Show sketch. It was like the infomercial for the Super Pan, which was just a frying pan that if you believe hard enough and you're British, it will allow you to fly as long as you believe.
Yeah.
Kiss the pan kisses you. Hitting David Cross on the head with a frying pan, making him kiss it. Good stuff. Yeah, like you're saying, like a lot of this was really like very much just by numbers, like people telling you shit with a tone of voice as if it's never been said before, but it's like what everybody knows about infomercials, like people telling us, oh, well, you can trace this stuff back to like the carnival barkers and the snake oil sales guys.
This shit's
but then it's like the same
crazy, man.
The same people who are telling you about how great and like positive the effects of infomercials on the world at large are then also being like, but this is the modern version of all the scam artists. Like,
yeah, it's pretty good that like these are the same people that probably are like, yeah, America needs to buy TikTok from the Chinese. It should be illegal for this website to exist because they're spying on you and they're selling you garbage. Also, infomercials are cool and good, and they led to things like TikTok Shop existing.
Right.
Like, wait, hold on. What?
I started writing down. They opened the conversation up to this idea of the it factor, like what a pitch person has to have to really make it in the infomercial world. Number 1, ability to connect. Number 2, be likable. People aren't going to buy stuff from a person they don't like. 3, authenticity. Got to keep it real. 4, create a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
You will die in 5 minutes if you don't have the ped egg, for example.
Yeah.
5, offer solutions. 6, CTA, the call to action. And then 7, I just wrote down someone saying, you too can print money. You got to be able to convince other people that they too can print money. And then I wrote down word for word what this one guy who is doing a lot of the kind of like pro infomercial propaganda. The old man who's like a partner in the biggest infomercial company. I don't know what to even call it. The infomercial making factory.
Yeah, he later says like, and now I just do movies and TV and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, Guthie and Renker, Bill Guthie and Greg Renker. Greg Renker was the one who was spouting off, going off about infomercials being based. And he said, we are all salespersons. As parents, we're constantly selling to our kids to try and persuade them to do the right thing. Preachers sell. Americans sell. And if you can do it with passion and with a good product that benefits others, it's very entrepreneurial. It's very capitalist. And it's very American. Well, I'm sold.
Yeah, if you're selling shit to your kids, you're a bad parent, man. You're not trying to sell... You tell that little fucker to sit down and shut their little fucking and then if you have to, you hit them. You're not selling anything. What are you talking about? Parents sell things to their kids to be a good person. No.
Well,
No.
He gives the game away in that when he says we're constantly selling to our kids to try to persuade them. No, you're persuading them. It's like this. It's this success win business mindset bullshit idea of like, oh, we're all just manipulating each other all the time. We're all just salespeople. We're a world of CEOs who own their own personal corporation.
Hold on, Josh. I'm not gonna let that slide during. I think we're almost in International Women's Month or whatever. We're not CEOs. We're SheEOs.
I believe the next month is the gay month, but
whatever. Gays are basically women.
Oh, sorry. And then the ninth thing I wrote down that you need for that it factor for your product / pitch person is
Israel.
You got to have that magical transformation.
That's true.
You got to be able to convince rubes that it's literal magic to make them lose weight or have clear skin or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think I was right because I said Israel, and everyone knows that they had literal magic when Israel made the desert bloom. So it's the same idea, right?
What was that? What was it? Was it black girl magic?
Yes.
That was the thing?
Yeah.
So Israelis also believe they
invented black girl magic.
Black girl magic us. Taco salad us.
That's right.
Thigh master us. Rotato us. Amazing knife us. Titty bear us. Titty bear was the one thing I did not see before. Did you know that one before though?
It seemed familiar, but yeah, I couldn't say that I remembered it.
I don't even understand how they got to Titty Bear.
Because it's a play on Theodore bears.
Sorry, I got to look up Titty Bear because I didn't look it up until just now. No, they were really going for. See, I thought maybe it was just like one of those like unbelievable mistakes.
Right.
But now what I'm looking at here makes me believe that the good folks behind Titty Bear may have known what they were doing with this advertising. It says that the Titty Bear is a teddy bear that snaps onto your shoulder strap and moves up and down to remove pressure, making driving more comfortable for your shoulders or chest.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
It allows your thangs to thangify while you're driving. That's good.
Man, look who's
You have a problem with that?
Look who's coming for the Titty Bear pitchman job.
Yeah, exactly. Could you imagine me selling? I would definitely knock it out of the park.
Folks, are you sick of thanging on that thing without things thanging?
You want to let the things thang.
With that patented swivel thang design and universal thang fit.
Oh, Jesus.
Where were we? We're all salespeople.
We're talking about kimchi. I know.
Yeah, we should. I want to get on there and sell kimchi as an anti-microplastics.
Oh,
wonder food.
What was the Dennis Miller? Oh, I want my nickel back. That was fucking. God damn, that was not good. It was not even a joke. Like, okay.
He basically said something. I told myself it would be a fun exercise to try to remember his joke by just writing down the reminder, Dennis Miller's Nickelback joke. Or as the all caps dictates, Dennis Miller's Nickelback joke.
Yeah, that was fucking brutal.
It was just something in reference to like grunge. There was too much grunge in the 90s, and instead...
No, I remembered it. Halfway through bringing it up, I remembered what the joke was.
Oh, go for it, please. How bad it was. Have at it.
So, yeah, he was talking about that, and he was like saying, and then grunge broke through to bands like Creed and Nickelback. And I want my nickel back.
It's very Adam Carolla level joke.
Yeah, Adam, I wouldn't be shocked to find out that Adam was a writer for this, to be honest.
Staff writer.
Because it's right up his fucking alley, to do this kind of thing. This is like perfect for him because it's like nostalgia for that era that he remembers about. It's about like TV because he likes to LARP as like a everyman, salt of the earth I work, but he was really just like a fancy boy who sat inside of his fucking apartment and watched TV all day. And then, they love to have him write in fucking rooms with like just a bunch of other old white guys who are just like painfully unfunny. So, but yeah, that was brutal. Oh, God damn it. Fuck, I wish I could remember. Oh, yes. Okay, so the first Nickelback single was Leader of Men. It's a good song. And people don't know it because it was like before they became like super famous. It was mostly just like a Canadian like hit or whatever. But I was in my head singing it a couple days ago. It was before this reference, and that was why I wanted to get to it. Because it was, and this is, in some ways, it's a little bit of a Doughboys reference. Because it would be like, so this is to the tune of, Nickelback's Leader of Men. I am not an eater of creme because I prefer to swallow. So yeah, there was more to it, and I can't remember all of it, but, thug it out. Cole, get on it. This is CanCon, so that's why Cole has to get into it, but yeah. So
I forgot about creme already. It's good lore. That's good lore.
That's right.
I also have to just say that I somehow missed the ped egg, despite the fact that apparently this was a huge product back in the day that I would have been around.
At some point, they asked the guy one of the guys that was in this documentary, I can't remember which one, they're like, we need you to come show off the ped egg. We need you to come use the ped egg. Her Royal Highness, the Queen of England, has requested that you come demonstrate the ped egg on her feet and give her a fresh pedicure. I think it was somebody else, but it would be, I was hoping for that to be in there. Like, that would be such a good, like, scene in a documentary thing like this. Yeah, the Queen of England asked me to come and clean her feet with the ped egg.
I mean, me discovering that this existed, I had one realization from it, and that is that my brain has been permanently warped to see the word ped as in reference to pedophile.
Right.
And then ped plus the word egg just makes me think of Jeffrey Epstein's egg-shaped penis.
That's right.
And it's a tragedy what's happening to our brains on the internet.
I think this might be an Eyes Wide Shut situation where they were ribbing on the square. They came up with the ped egg as a reference to Jeffrey Epstein, and they were hoping that people would never connect the dots,
Or they're like, what's the one thing that's more disgusting than pedophilia? It's surgical stainless steel microblades gently shaving off the top layer of dry, rough skin on your feet.
Yeah.
With an eggshell design that collects all the dead skin shavings so you can use it anywhere.
Yeah. What's funny is, like, if you really, like, if you really wanted to do that for some reason, like, it's... The ped egg thing is just like a microplane, like a thing that you use like on like limes or, to get like, citrus zest or to like finely grate like a nutmeg or something. Like, that's all that was basically, which is like, yeah, you really shouldn't use that on your foot. Like you shouldn't microplane your foot. This is very funny to be like, we're selling you a fucking marked up microplaner that's like covered in some plastic and telling you to use it wrong. Basically, give us billions of dollars, please.
There's apparently a safety warning about the ped egg as well.
Yeah.
medical professionals, especially podiatrists, strongly caution against using harsh foot graters like the ped egg.
Yeah.
Is there more than one of these things?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it is. It is just a product.
The other ones don't have the sleek egg shape design.
That's more of what I meant, was picturing like a whole bunch of like generic off-brand ped eggs.
Right.
If you have diabetes, poor circulation, or numbness in the feet, it's incredibly easy to cut yourself without realizing it, which can lead to severe infections. Thank you, Allentown Family Foot Care, for that PSA. But beyond the pet egg, who else did we see in this documentary? I did just start jotting down names. Suzanne Summers, Susan Powder. All the Susans are out tonight.
Yeah. I was Susan for a snoozin' as I was watching this documentary.
Ron Popeil.
Oh, I thought it was pronounced Pompeii, like the city.
They did the guy who owned the big infomercial factory. I believe he said Ron Popeil's full name very seriously with a lot of gravitas. He was like, he's a true legend. That was one thing I did like about the documentary, is just the insulated like world of infomercial people like talking about like in like hushed tones about like the legend of these certain people.
It is like comparing it to wrestling is perfect, because it is like the same level of like stupidity where like dumb guys really, really like, valorize people that are like, slightly less stupid than them for being like good at ripping off morons. Just being like, oh my God, God damn, you should have seen the way he sold, man. I've never seen another pitchman quite that good. It's like, you're talking about like a dumbass who was able to trick dumber asses into buying shit, man. You're not talking about like a literal, which is very funny because I was like training an intern at work, and halfway through she was like, well, my dad was a rocket scientist. And I was like, your dad was literally a rocket scientist? That's very funny. We're not talking about rocket scientists, folks. We're talking about guys who sell garbage to dumber people.
Yeah, they kept trying to like give like the whole enterprise like a veneer of not even a veneer, but just like, yeah, trying to legitimize this, like make it like a real skill set. And I mean, I guess to some extent it is, but it's also just like, are you good with lying? Are you really good at lying? It doesn't make you feel bad, or if it does, you don't show it.
Yeah. Can you just like, are you okay with just saying something that you don't know if it's true? You might even know that it's not true, right? Like,
What was the thing with that wrestler and the Santo Gold? It was kind of brief in the documentary, but
that was kind of an interesting thing. The Santo Gold thing is like whatever. It's kind of like a minor footnote in like regional New York, like indie wrestling history or whatever. It's nothing like particularly like crazy or whatever, like well known, I guess I should say. But yeah, it's okay. It's just a guy who like, I don't even remember what his thing was. He was like a wrestling manager, put on like wrestling shows, like a promoter or whatever. Who like had the the weird song Santo Gold, Santo Gold, Santo Gold, Santo Gold, and like people would buy gold from him or whatever, and blah blah. This was an interesting lore thing from wrestling that they didn't mention on here, but is related to like infomercials and all of this. And it also plays into funny Hulk Hogan lies. Hulk Hogan claims, and they referenced him in here with like a waffle maker, right? There was like a Hulk Hogan waffle maker, and they're like, yeah, it bombed, nobody bought it, which is like, yes, that's true. Hulk Hogan at one point in a funny, Hulk lies thing claimed that they initially offered for him to do the George Foreman grill, but he didn't answer the phone and didn't call back in time, and they went with George Foreman instead. And then, but he was like, it would have been the Hulk Hogan grill, brother, and it would have sold billions of dollars or whatever. It's so good because it's like throughout this documentary, they made it very clear that the garbage that they're selling doesn't matter, right? It's not about the garbage that you're selling; it's about the pitch and being being a believable pitchman who can really sing. It's like if it was the Hulk Hogan grill, no one would have bought it, just like they didn't buy the Hulk Hogan waffle maker, right? They just would have not bought it. It wouldn't have been the George Foreman grill if it was the Hogan grill. It would have just been another stupid thing that nobody fucked with because they don't like you, Hulk. You're not as big of a deal as you want to believe you are. Anyways, but yeah, that's the more wrestling related infomercial lore is Hulk Hogan lies, which are the best. It's the best thing in wrestling is Hulk Hogan lies. He was such a piece of shit.
I was just watching yesterday. Actually, my dad was watching it. I don't know why. Maybe my dad is a Hulk Hogan guy secretly. He was watching some documentary on TV about Hulk Hogan. And it was taking everything within me to not bring up things like Hulk Hogan using racial slurs or saying, I think I ate too much pork.
Too much sushi, brother. While he's fucking his best friend's
I thought it was
wife.
pork. Was it sushi?
He said too much sushi during the sex video. There's probably also a thing where he says he ate too much pork. But yeah.
He 100% rolls off his friend's wife. Is patting his belly and going, ate too much pork. I'm searching Hulk Hogan pork right now. I would be shocked if I just imagined that. Oh wait, hang on. Oh no, hang on. There it is. He also says he felt like a pig in the sex tape.
Yes. Yeah.
He feels like a pig and he ate too much pork. What's that about? What kind of Freudian shit is going on there? Famously interrupted the encounter to tell his partner he felt, quote, like a pig because he had eaten too much food.
Yes.
Remember the good times, folks.
Yeah.
Hey, I just sent you something in the Discord.
I saw it.
It's
S-word?
Yeah, the same guy who directed this documentary also made this.
Hell
but
yeah.
We can talk about that in a second. I gotta go to the bathroom though, and then we can kind of start wrapping it up. Maybe I guess. Yeah.
We'll hit the couple of notes I have for the third episode. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be good. All right, hang on. I'll be right back.
Look at my penis.
Dollar.
Look at my subpoenas. Yeah.
Look at my...
It's weird. That's right.
I don't like the...
Dollar.
I agree, actually.
Every single person on this planet.
Hassan Parker.
Okay. Let's... Yeah, why don't you tell us what you thought about the third... I'll just say episode 2, just to kind of gloss over it. Essentially... it goes into the next step of the evolution of the infomercial, which is basically we no longer rely on these weird, freakish nobodies to sell stuff and to trick people. Now we're going to get honest to goodness celebrities like Suzanne Summers, Lisa Gibbons, and so on.
Which feels like it gives away the game for the whole oh man, a down home country pitchman can sell catch a popsicle to a woman in white glove.
Yeah,
when you have that real old style down deep in the bayou pitchman, he It's like, yeah, or you can just get an actual celebrity and it's the same. It's the same thing. It's like, it's either it's this crazy art that only these amazing people who just have this natural fucking inclination to sell, they can really pitch, or you can just have like a real celebrity that people, and then they'll just buy things because they know them. It's like, okay, so it's really not this magical thing. It's just like tricking people into liking you is all that you really, that's all that it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, but yeah, the second episode was good too because there was like the stuff that was like the fucking regulations and the government getting involved and all of this stuff and just glossing over and being like, yeah, the people who made infomercials were like, oh, well, no, we'll put together our own, we'll just do our own thing. We don't need, regulations or anything. We'll self-police. And that's, you can trust that for sure, So yeah, that was good. That was good as well to just be like, yeah, like they wanted really hard to, like, they didn't really, it was really nice. Like, I don't know how to put it exactly, but like, it's just so, it just plays right into the, the stereotype and the politics that they didn't even put like any effort into like covering up as to why, like, you wouldn't just want there to be government regulations. Why would it be better for them to self-regulate? They just like took it as a given, which like, again, plays into like the medium of what we're watching, of course.
Yeah.
That Fox News is not going to like even take the time to explain to you why is it beneficial that the government doesn't regulate it and that they self-regulate? Why is that? No, of course, we wanted that. We didn't want the heavy hand, even though you're talking about shit where like people got fucking their lives ruined and died. Like people literally died from getting taken advantage of from infomercial bullcrap and being like, but we didn't want, just because there was a couple of bad actors, we didn't want, the government to mess up the real legitimate, infomercial business that we had going. It's like, it's all fucking bullshit, and it's all bullshit. Even some of them like would admit it. They'd be like, the workout exercise people were like, the stuff that we sold didn't matter. It was just like anything works. Like you say this now to this day, like anything works in exercise if you just do it, right? Like that's the trick. It's just so the $30, $60, probably $100 rubber ball that actually costs like 2 cents to make.
Yeah.
Like it's about sticking to the exercise program, obviously. So yeah, it was just very funny for them to be like, oh, we, glossing over like the guys. And then that plays into the third episode, especially the wrap up bit. But if you're ready to transition to the third episode.
Yeah. I was just going to say, what's the lady's name who did all that exercise shit? She was the one behind the big silver ball. Do you know? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I was just going to say, because the way she talked about it was like, so like shameless. She was like,
right.
we just sold them this stupid plastic ball.
Right. We sold them a rubber ball. It was garbage.
We sold hundreds of millions of them. We made so much money. She's like, everyone in this documentary is just like 110% behind like every single thing in here. Like usually like a documentary, like let's say CNN did this type of documentary, which they probably have done one of these anyway.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised. The only difference would be they would have like 5 minutes in the middle episode where they're like, but what would far left people or what would liberals think of this even?
Right.
It's like they do the fair and balanced obligatory bullshit part. But no, the Fox Nation docuseries, which we watched, was just greed is good. I mean, they could have just called it that, I guess.
They really should have. Yeah, but that lady is Brooke Burke, and Brooke Burke is interesting because she's kind of like, this is kind of like where she, obviously made sense for her to, end up. But it does make sense because she's like this odd, like, mix of like a person who, like, when she was young, it was like she had like a really fit and attractive body, but always had like an old lady face. So it's like she was perfect for this kind of thing. Like that's the kind of models that fit into like that world, because like who are you selling to or whatever. Anyway, on the third episode, okay, inexplicably, and like this is skipped over on the outline, inexplicably in the third episode, did you notice the weird crowd bit with Dennis Miller during the intro part
where he's just talking to the fake infomercial audience?
He's talking to the fake infomercial audience, and he's like making some weird ass like joke that doesn't make any sense about like, now we're in the year 2000 and like,
I want my nickel back.
Yeah, and I want my nickel back, and now we're wearing Von Dutch hats, babe, and we're doing all this, and then like he makes like a joke that's not even funny, really, and doesn't like even make sense in the reference, and then he just points out into the audience and goes like, what's up with this guy? For it doesn't fit into anything. And then they cut to the guy, and the guy is him in a hat with a fake mustache for no reason, or glasses. It's him in a hat with glasses for no fucking reason. And him in the audience is like laughing and having a good time. And then he just looks at him as like, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. Yeah, isn't that funny? Isn't it funny? And like, there's nothing to it, and it makes no sense. This was like the thing where I'm just like, this is like a fucking hallucination. This is like, what is going on here? Why is this? Why did that happen? It doesn't connect to anything. It's just absolute madness.
I didn't fully take in how ridiculous it was, I guess, but I knew something felt off. But I think that was the thing where, like, by the time I got to the third episode, I was a little bit checked out.
Sure. I can't blame you.
Because it was basically just saying, like, well, I mean, they entitled episode 3, very clever title here, Internet Killed the Infomercial Star.
That's right. So my biggest takeaways from episode 3 were that insane bit. Tony Little wore a baseball hat at his wedding. They were showing the wedding photos of him.
Yeah.
Which was funny because when they were getting to it, he was like talking about everything. Oh, I found my beautiful new wife because they sent me a new makeup artist. And then as I was talking to her while she was doing my makeup, I realized I'm never going to let her leave my house, basically is what he said. I'm going to trap this bitch. I'm going to keep her trapped inside of my house forever. And then before they get to that, she's saying like, you don't look your age. You don't act your age. You're doing very good. And he's like, yeah. And I still have hair. And he grabs like the back of his ponytail and he's fluttering it out, and she's like, yes, you have nice hair. And then they cut to smash cut wedding photos, and in the wedding photos he's still wearing the same baseball hat with the hair and I'm just like, oh, it's a nightmare underneath that hat. The fact that you're like so obsessed with the fact that you still have long hair in the back, and your wife is like, yes, you have nice hair. And then you won't take the hat off at the wedding. It's like, yeah, and it's so funny to think like that's like this weird point of pride for Tony Little to be like, I've got great hair. I still have great hair. Don't let the news tell you that my hair is not great. Look how good it is. Oh, underneath that baseball hat? No, nothing. There's nothing there. It's just more good hair underneath this hat.
And much like an infomercial where you make all kinds of wild claims about a product, you can get away with it if it's technically true. So he does have hair. He didn't say hair all over my head or on the top of my head.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, that was crazy.
Where's the lie?
Could you imagine, you know what I mean? Like, you're getting married to this quote unquote celebrity, Tony Little. Like, it's your wedding day. It's the happiest day of your life. You know, it's your wedding day, and it's like, baseball hat stays on. Baseball hat stays on. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Staying on in the honeymoon suite too, I'm guessing.
Probably. Yeah. That was another big takeaway. Tony Robbins, the other Tony, as we call him, he mentioned, like, where are they now? Tony Robbins. I have 111 companies.
Yeah.
So this is the thing about how quote unquote business works, right? If you have 111 companies, that's the same as having 0 companies. When you have that many companies, that means there's a problem. You're trying to hide something from someone. You don't have 111 companies because you're doing good. Well, you have 111 companies because you're doing fuckery. You're doing financial crimes, basically. That's why you need 111 companies, is to hide all of the financial crimes.
But they're companies. We didn't say shell companies.
Yeah.
Just companies. No one specified. And I didn't say not shell companies or legitimate companies. I just said companies.
No. I just said companies. And then the major thing, and the wrap up of the whole series, I think, to me, was the final moments when Dennis Miller is explaining everything, and he's like, the thing about, well, I guess there was other stuff too, like where he talks about infomercials leading to, influencers. We mentioned this a little bit earlier, like the concept that, like, people selling shit on TikTok Shop is the same as, infomercials. When you think about it, right? Like, Ron Popeil saying "set it and forget it" is the same as, what's her name? Like Pinky Love going like, ice cream, yum yum. Like, it's the same thing. And I think that everyone agrees. I think that Dennis Miller would agree that that's good, and he likes that. That those are the same thing. I don't know if there was any other kind of stuff on that you thought of.
I mean, I'll clean up the last scraps here that I can remember, or a couple of them at least. Just some products that we didn't mention that I thought were worth mentioning that I hadn't. Here's 2 that I don't remember seeing at the time. I should also say I didn't really have any. I didn't like feel any deep nostalgia while watching this, but like I was remembering a time in, I don't know, being like 12 or 13 and discovering that infomercials were like stupid and fun to laugh at with your friends. So I did have that element of it. I was coming to this with a little baggage. But during that time, I never saw Titty Bear or Pet Egg or that creepy looking mask, which I describe here as the Vanilla Sky mask that has like a bunch of electrodes or something in it that are supposed to like shock your face to youth or something. Wearable Towel was the name of the product, which was basically just a kind of toga with towel fabric, and it showed people like going to parties while still wearing their wearable towels. And then maybe the stupidest product of all of them that I saw, in this at least, was the Nathan's Happy Hot Dog Man. Did you catch that?
Nice. Yeah.
Is like this fucking plastic thing that you put a hot dog in it. It slices it to make like where like you could pull like arms and a face back from the hot dog meat. So strange. I mean, they did bring that one up as like, well, this was one of our rare failures. The hot dog, Happy Hot Dog Man.
Happy Hot Dog Man.
But then had big heavy hitters, of course, like Ginsu, the Ginsu knife. They kept showing that old man like cutting a hammer in half or whatever.
But to me, I think the biggest takeaway that I had after the whole thing was when Dennis Miller was doing like his wrap up bit, and he was talking about like, infomercials were great. We were like, people were out there. They're doing American stuff. We were creating commerce. And he said offhandedly, nobody got hurt to a large degree. And it's like the second episode literally talked about lawsuits, crime, like major crime, fraud, people dying, losing millions of dollars. But
I mean, they very obliquely referenced it, but yes.
Yes. But you're so entrenched in the fucking libertarian Ayn Rand politic bullshit that you're like, as long as like commerce was moving, as long as money was exchanging hands, as long as business was happening, nobody got hurt to a large degree. That's good. It's the most important thing is that people were making money, man. The rest of the stuff, it's not a big deal. That was just like perfect. It was like wrapping up the whole fucking concept with like the libertarian ideology of Fox News and just being like, yeah, people have to die, but at least like, thousands of people bought a slap chop that they fucking just threw in the garbage.
Are you trying to take away the happiness that one kid felt when he got that Nathan's Happy Hot Dog Man slicer?
Exactly. Yeah. Just because a few people had their entire lives ruined or died. Like, Jesus Christ.
75,000 grandmas shit out their intestines because of the Happy Hot Dog Man.
But one kid, he was really into it, dude.
I just want to briefly say how much I get like frustrated and baffled by the fact that Tony Robbins is like a thing. I just kept thinking while I was watching him and listening to his bullshit, like what I've thought of him in the past too, but it was just like, what? I mean, I just wrote it here. What the fuck is this guy's deal? Like, he doesn't have like a real angle to any of the quote unquote products he's selling, which are like this vague self-help media empire and 111 companies along with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And like when he was doing his like hitting rock bottom spiel, I don't know.
I didn't use drugs or drink or anything. So for me, hitting rock bottom was like I was doing stuff that I wasn't having fun while going out or whatever.
He said that he was self-sabotaging himself.
Yeah.
Which just sounds like, just the kind of like lingo that he uses at his workshop bullshit things. But then like the very specific numbers, like everything he was saying just was just like, it was like, this gives away that you are lying. Like in a textbook way. He's like, I gained 38 pounds while watching this very specific episode of General Hospital or whatever he was talking about, like sitting around watching soap operas. But yeah, that, and then like there was this thing where they kept saying, and you kind of touched on this already, but like basically, like maybe there were a few bad apples here and there, and they specifically brought up this guy Kevin Trudeau, who I recognized. Yeah. Like I recognized his face, and I remembered in an kind of embarrassed way that I remember seeing him one time in probably 20 years ago on an infomercial, and he was basically just like doing some spiel about like they are out to get you, basically was what it was. It was like, there's all these fucking additives in our food and all this shit. It was something like that. And it just like, it appealed to some skeptical part of my brain at the time. And I was like, oh, maybe this guy really knows what he's talking about here. And he was like selling one of his stupid books. But he's maybe like the worst. Like he definitely spent some time in prison, not enough, but like some time. But yeah, Kevin Trudeau, and then the guy who really gruesomely killed himself, I found out later when I looked him up. What was his name? Don Lepre, another guy who you probably recognize his face because it was just on TV a lot. This reminded me of the greatly contested death of Elliott Smith between the two of us.
Yes. It's one of the major points on this podcast.
This guy was he was like right about to be like taken to court and almost certainly found guilty and sentenced to like 25 years in jail. So he cut his own throat with a razor blade. Is that what we should end on? Should we just end on
I would
that?
I would have to look it up to make sure if it didn't have anything to do with some stupid bitch.
Yeah,
but
it was possibly Elliot Smith's girlfriend, some are saying.
she had a fucking taste for it, you know? But yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
And maybe final point, the ShamWow guy, his eye is all fucked up. One of his eyes is all squinty.
his whole shit is fucking ass, man. His everything.
He is very unpleasant to watch on camera.
He's a non-Euclidean human being. I don't like looking at his fucking face, man. His whole shit looks like an MC Escher painting, but like,
nightmarish geometries.
Yeah, it's not. I don't like the guys, putting it lightly, when it comes to fucking, what's his name? Dick Offerman.
Yeah, Dick Offerman is always chasing that almighty
dollar. Yeah, exactly.
You know what really would have saved this infomercial documentary? PBD.
Yep.
PBD Productions doing the whole thing would have been better, obviously.
Oh my god, it would have been so much better if this whole thing had been, instead of Dennis Miller being like the stand-up guy during it, if it had been Tom. Could you imagine if it was Tom? It would have been perfect. Anyway, but real quick, I have to also mention on episode 3, they talked about how the fucking ShamWow guy grew up or was born in Israel, and his mom, that was the thing I was referencing earlier when I said like second language. His mom moved to New York, and he said she didn't speak English, and I was like, wait, they were from Israel. What the fuck did she speak? I was like shook for a second. Then I had to look it up and be like, the national language of Israel is Hebrew. What? That can't be possible. What the fuck? Yeah, and then the way that he, like, you could see the way that he became the Joker based on this fucking documentary. Was like, he was mad that his movie, if you ever watch that unfucking censored comedy film or whatever,
oh no,
his thing, it's dog shit. It's so fucking bad. And he's like, the woke fucking, the powers that be behind the scenes,
yes,
the shadowy cabal. The shadowy cabal in Hollywood were holding me down, and that's why my movie didn't do good. And it's like, no, dude, your movie sucked dick. The reason why you didn't do good is because you're not funny and you're not good at comedy. It's not because the woke shadowy cabal was trying to stop your ass. You just suck. And then that's how he turned into, like, I hate trans people, is because fucking his movie did bad. And it really does make you realize that shit about, like, Hitler was an artist, but people didn't like his art, and that's why he turned into fucking Hitler. It's like, oh yeah, no, that's real. That's real. It seems reductive and stupid, but it's real. Because you look at this guy, and that's basically the same. It's the same fucking thing. They didn't like his movie because it was bad, and he's turned it into, like, the shadowy cabal in Hollywood. It was holding him back. It's fucking gnarly, man. General recommendations. No.
Yes, I agree. I was just thinking if there was one last thing to say about this or not.
The most important question from the documentary is, do you think Margot Robbie takes a dump?
Just there was a part where the guy who owned the infomercial factory, the CEO guy who probably made the most money out of anybody in the documentary, I would guess, from infomercials. He didn't even say there were just a few bad apples. At one point he actually said, he either said like so many or most of these people, meaning infomercial people, were like fraudulent, blah, 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 doing all this bad stuff. To which I summarize it all as, can you believe most of these people were crooks? Maybe we can go out on that one. I mean, we totally skipped over Tommy Woo or Vu, however you say his name.
Oh, yeah.
But whatever. Let's talk.
I mean, yeah.
Kind of boring.
Stuff to say about him, but who cares?
I mean, what was funny about him was that he clearly was doing all kinds of fraud, and then was saying, I never was actually in trouble for anything.
Nope.
But then they cut to another talking head, and he's like, oh yeah, and as soon as he was being investigated, he completely shut down his entire business and like ran away to be to do like meditation in Vietnam or whatever.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the funny thing was like at the end when he was like, yeah, I'm still like a success win psychopath who's obsessed with doing the most, but now it's about doing the most spiritual learning. Now I'm about creating, instead of creating the most wealth and becoming a billionaire, I'm focused on creating the most enlightenment. That was like, hell yeah, man. That's how it works. You can definitely meditate extra hard and do like success win meditation. That's for sure.
Business mindset meditation, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, actually, the final thing to mention about this movie is that the director mostly did commercials and bullshit, which is not surprising at all. But then I did dig into his filmography and found that he directed a short 35-minute film called The S Word, parentheses, Socialism.
Yeah.
And with the context of him doing this Fox Nation docuseries thing, you could probably imagine what angle this documentary is taking. And as I was looking it up, I found that there was like a kind of, it seemed more pro-socialism documentary called The Big Scary S Word that came out the same exact year. So this may have been a response to that. So the next time we're gonna cover a Rob Rosen joint, maybe we'll watch The S Word, parentheses, Socialism. Most likely not, though. All right. Do you want to recommend something in a general way, generally speaking type way? Chinese people.
I do. Initially,
Chinese.
I was gonna do this as a anti-recommendation, but then I realized, no, I want to give them props. I want to give a recommendation and say, good on you for, putting effort into whatever the fuck I'm talking about. Stavi's World. I think we were talking about Stavros earlier. I don't know if that was on the podcast, so that was pre-cum, but it's gonna, probably a piece of it will get referenced or something.
Speaking of pre-cum, Stavros Halkias.
That's right. But this is post-cum. Stavi's World podcast. I noticed earlier as we were recording that this is the first time I've seen this, a podcast exclusive Discord that actually like kicks you out when you're no longer subscribed to the podcast.
Huh.
Yeah. Most podcasts, like if you subscribe on their Patreon and you get added to their Patreon exclusive Discord, they will just leave you in there forever. They'll never like mess with you. But Stavi's World, I realized because I did like a free trial sign up so that I could listen to the episode with Megan Keister, and I haven't been subscribed to the podcast ever again since. And I was just like, I saw that it had like a badge, like, oh, notification, and I popped into it and I was like, I can't look at anything. They kicked me out. They like subtly kicked me out. I'm still in there technically, but I can't look at anything because I'm like, blocked from all of the content because I'm not subscribed. So, hey, good on you, Stavi's World, podcast Discord mods for like actually paying attention to people who are allowed, to be in there, quote unquote, allowed to be in there. So yeah, that's my general recommendation is good moderation. We all need a good moderating sometimes.
Speaking of needing a good moderating, I saw a movie last night, a new movie that I think is somewhat of a hit or something, some kind of success, all the rage. It is called Backrooms, and I really, really liked it. And I think I just don't want to say anything about it other than it was very good, and I suggest people check it out. If you like, I guess, for lack of a better description, A24 elevated horror type stuff.
Okay,
I guess it's in that genre. It's very tense and surreal, and I'll just say the set design is very cool. And even if, I think I said to my brother, who I saw the movie with yesterday, that even if every other aspect of the movie had been shitty, except for the set design, I would have still liked the movie because the set stuff was so cool. But check out A Scary Weird. I believe it's maybe described as here we go, science fiction psychological horror film. Also, this was made by a really young writer-director guy, 20 years old, one Kane Parsons. Good work, Kane. This is a very good first movie. I guess it kind of reminds me of when Hereditary came out in a way, just because it was like a first movie by a relatively young director that was very good and fairly original. All right. You, listener, go to the episode description. In the episode description, there's a link to our Discord server. You want to get in there, you want to join up, you want to say hi, you want to post some stuff. And while you're doing that, you will also want to listen to people talk about wrestling on a podcast, Tim's other podcast, which is called something.
It's QNTR. It doesn't exist. It hasn't been around for months at this point. Late April was the last episode. So like at least a month since then. I already told y'all to go listen to the, Psychology is Dead, Greatest Wrestler Ever thing on there. So do that and check out some other stuff. Check out Violent People Radio. They did a D&D episode that was pretty good like a week ago. Don't listen to the newest one. Look for the D&D one. Anyway, that's it. That's it. Find violentpeople.co, Violent People Radio, and QNTR or whatever. There's stuff in there.
All right. Don't kill yourself. Do labor union stuff. Infomercials are praxis. And as always, as Dennis Miller always says, at least the infomercial guys were honest, babe. If you saw Tony Little sprinting onto your television at 2:17 in the morning looking like a backup dancer from Olivia Newton-John's physical video who just escaped from a Bolivian ayahuasca retreat, you knew somebody was about to sell you something, babe. Good night, good luck, good morning, Etna.
Pain works on a sliding scale, so does pleasure in a candy jail. True love doesn't come around any more than fate allows on a Monday in Fort Lauderdale. I came all this way to see your grave, to see your life as written paraphrase. I have tried the it is written in the furnace of affliction. This is what you couldn't face. Life in a candy jail with peppermint bars, peanut brittle bunk beds and marshmallow walls, where the guards are gracious and the grounds are grand. The warden keeps the data on your favorite brands. Jelly beans and cookie dough, country restroom on the radio. I got a number on my name, it's hard to rise above the shame. I'm a branded man made in the mold. These terms engulf the waking mind, like cherry, grape, and lemon lime, like candy corn and licorice, like bubble gum and Swedish fish. It happens to me all the time. Living in a candy jail, peppermint bars, peanut brittle bunk beds and marshmallow walls, where the guards are gracious and the grounds are grand. The warden really listens and he understands.
first voice recording was made in 1860. It was a 10-second fragment of the French folk song Au clair de la lune recorded by inventor Edward Leon Scott de Martinville. But who will make the final voice recording and when? What will it be? Who will hear it?